Hello and welcome back to the Comics Family. Today is the 6th of May 2023 and in Britain that means two things. First of all, today was the coronation of King Charles III. Not the first, he did not end well. It's King Charles III. So it's been a very, party exciting day for the country. And also it is Free Comic Book Day, which has been also parties and excitement in the comic book shops around the country. Yes. Come and join us as we take you through what we have picked up from Free Comic Book Day today.
This is just our Free Comic Book Day issues. This is not what else we bought.
We've also picked up our pulls from this week's new releases because unfortunately we couldn't get to our local shop on Wednesday because of work commitments. So we'll take you through what we picked up there, and we also did a little bit of bin dipping whilst we were out and about. We have been to two comic book shops today as well. Our regular guys didn't have a couple of things in that we were looking for, and then we went elsewhere because we happened to be in the area. Yeah, we do still love you. We really love you. But yes, we happened to be in the next town for another appointment, so we popped into their shop as well just to see if they had anything that we were missing.
Yeah, so we'll keep the
list
list
off. Was one of those.
Yes. So we'll kick the list off with Dawn of DC Night Terrors #1. Now, I'm not a big DC fan. I don't really follow DC. I'm not a fan of Super Douche. But when I read about this in the DC previews, which we spoke about in our last...
Yes, those of you who are regular listeners to our podcast will hopefully have already heard our previews episode where we went through all of the DC previews and Marvel previews that are coming up over the next few months. And yeah, we did get quite excited about this Night Terrors.
Yeah, because it's not just a one-off book. It's there's a series, but there's a lot of tie-in series as well. And a few of the ones we like were like Poison Ivy, Joker. And if you haven't had a look at the previews, I highly suggest you go and dive into that.
Yeah, there's definitely some interesting ones. And this is obviously like a little nice intro book that we can pick up for free.
Cut a chunk off, but the phones, if you look in the phones, as the same pictures, Batman and Superman are not the same. Or is it Superman and Diana are not the same? And Bruce is a little kid, yeah.
Yeah, Bruce is a little kid.
What are your worst fears? Did you spot that before?
No, I didn't. I didn't look at it that closely, to be honest. So yeah, it is definitely one that I think is going to launch quite an interesting story arc for DC with a lot of crossovers and a lot of tie-ins. So yeah.
So moving on, we picked up Crime Buster. I think this is from Boom Studios.
Yeah, I happened to spot that one and just was like, oh, I'm intrigued. It says Crime Busters and I'm quite intrigued by my crime fiction. So I thought, yeah, it's free. I'll pick it up.
Yeah, why not?
Not one I'd have probably gone out of my way to buy if I had to, but for a freebie. And that's what Free Comic Book Day is all about.
Yeah, it's about getting you into, maybe pick up that first week if you like the Night Terrors and you want to see where the story goes from there. But for those Marvel fans over there, like myself, like yourself, there's one man we all know that started it, got it all going, created most of the characters we love, and that is Stan Lee. So, if you want to know a little bit more about Stan Lee in comic book form, this is a book you should have picked up.
Yes, I'm very excited to actually give this a read. I don't know, other than the generally known bits about Stan Lee, I don't know a lot about the details of his life, so it'll be very interesting to read this graphic biography.
Which wasn't done by Marvel, which I found really strange.
Yeah, that is really, really odd. Yeah. But yeah.
It was like 10 press or something. Never heard of them. Good job. Right, moving on. We have Marvel Voices #1.
Now this is a series. There's been quite a few things that I've seen of Marvel Voices. I don't really know a lot about it. So again, I thought, make the most of Free Comic Book Day. I will pick up a freebie one, have a read and see what I think.
Yeah.
And it has got a really cool cover.
That's what it's there for.
Has got a really cool cover with some really interesting characters on it.
Always really good to just when you've got 10 minutes, cup of coffee, nice and quiet, not in this house.
I was going to say, when do we ever get to have 10 minutes of peace and quiet and a hot cup of coffee?
But for those Trekkies of you out there, you've got Star Trek, Day of Blood. This is the prelude. I'm not a Star Trek fan. I mean, I'll watch Star Trek, but I'm not a Trekkie.
I was brought up watching quite a bit of Star Trek on a Saturday morning with my dad.
So was I, which is the reason that I got this, because it's for my dad, who I've seen earlier and forgot to give to. So don't tell him.
You tit.
Yeah. And then, moving on. Uncanny Avengers #1. Anyone that's an Avengers fan, and you're following the current run, which I believe is coming to an end soon. This is kicking off the next arc.
Well, that's quite cool because it's like an X-Men and Avengers. And
yeah,
Deadpool.
because there's X-Men members that are also members of the Avengers,
cool.
And Deadpool is an Avenger when it suits him.
So the next one is Fish Flies #1. Don't really know. This is one that Lizzie pointed out to us. So Lizzie works in our local shop. She has a frustrating habit of putting us onto things.
I mean, when you open the page up today, you kind of think, what the hell? Now I want to read it.
So yeah.
Well done, Lizzie.
Yes, I blame my intrigue, my interest and what have you in Peach Momoko on Lizzie because she's a big fan of hers. And I thought, yeah, you know what? I'll see what all the fuss is about. I know I do also really like her. So, God damn you, Lizzie! You're not good for my bank balance.
Right, this one I had no interest in at all, but she was really desperate for me to take it. So we got Shadow Man Dark Legacy. So I'll give that a read and see what I think of it. I mean, I haven't got a clue what that's about. I didn't even see that on the League of Geeks app this week.
No, I didn't even notice that on the preview list for League of Geeks.
I don't actually know who it's from.
Although, it's not just Lizzie, it is Jamie as well, who owns our local shop, New Dawn, who has put you onto World Tree. He's introduced you to that. So again, regular listeners of our podcast, when this cropped up as a key of the week, when we were doing our new releases, we read the blurb about it and just was like, yeah, we're really not feeling this book. And then Jamie happened to mention it when we were in last week and went, actually, it's one of the best books I've read in a long while. So very kindly gifted you a copy to have a read of, and it does seem to have hooked you.
Yeah, we read the blurb from Key Collectors, which Key Collectors did not give enough information, naughty Key Collectors. Then we went into League of Geeks, who had a little bit more, but it wasn't enough to pique my interest. So, after Jamie said he read it, thought it was great, I took it home, waited a couple of weeks because, kids get annoyed. And then...
Nothing important.
That's fine.
Nothing to see here.
I've read it, and now I am hooked. I need to know what happens in the next issue. So thanks for that, Jamie. Just wait for you to get more money out of me. Anyway, moving on. We've got Red Sonja. If you are going to have Free Comic Day, make sure you read this, because if you're going to give this to one of your small children, they'll be coming and ask you about the Birds and the Bees afterwards.
Yeah, well, you'd think they might be able to guess that, because she is not wearing a lot on this cover.
Have you played any fantasy RPG games? That is female armour.
Very true. Male breastplate is this big. Female breastplate, teeny tiny. This would literally be it. Teeny tiny.
Yeah. Anyway, Spider-Man Venom #1. There's always a Spider-Man Venom for Free Comic Day. And if you're not picking it up, well, then you need to wake up and get down to your Free Comic shop.
I think it might be a bit late now, dear.
No, I mean, you say that, but I'm pretty sure not all the issues have been handed out. So going down there a day late or something, you can always pop down and see if they've got them.
Yeah, you might do. We are now moving on to ones that are child suitable that we did pick up for the kids this week. Again, still Free Comic Book Day ones. But Little Man has developed this interest in both Animal Crossing and Kirby. He has got us started playing on Kirby in the last couple of weeks.
Didn't know Kirby was in there.
Yeah, so this is one that is potentially more for him going in his collection, just because, it looks cute and sweet and lovely and child friendly. And what way round do you read it?
The way you just flicked.
Oh, right, because Lizzie did say it's... No, I think you read it that way around, because Lizzie was saying it's... Because it's manga, they do it back to front because you read Japanese the other way around. I think you do read it the normal way, but that's why the book's printed back to front.
Let me know in the comments who's correct, which probably is her, because I'm usually wrong. So, anyway. Spidey and his amazing friends, free comic book day special. This one is full of not just a Spidey story, there's all sorts of little games and stuff in there as well. So if your child is a fan of Spidey on Disney Plus, definitely one to go out and collect. Yes. It seems to be one that gets recycled every year though. Like,
I don't know if it's the same story in it though. I know they did a Spidey and his amazing friends last year, but I don't know if it's actually the same story inside of it.
Yeah, that's true. I'll give you that.
So yeah,
it might be the same cover.
And those of you that again are regular listeners to the podcast know that Little Man is a massive Spidey fan, and even Little Miss, even though she's not quite 2 yet, is starting to develop her own little recognition, at least, of Spidey. Because when we pointed this out to her in the shop, I was like, "Who is it?" And she went, "Spidey."
Well,
it was very cute. Even Jamie thought it was cute.
Yeah, she would rather watch Spidey than Bluey, which saying something. Then,
yeah, but Bluey is awesome.
Going back to my childhood, I'm sure many of the others out there, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Who doesn't love the Ninja Turtles? And when you get a free comic book for Ninja Turtles, you've got to take it up. I'm going to stop flipping through these because I'm going to start reading them.
Yes, you will easily get distracted. We have picked up a couple of copies of some of these books just because one of my friends has got a little boy who's slightly older than Little Man, and we've picked a couple up to draw him into the world of comic books as well.
Yeah, spend all his daddy's money. Sorry, John.
And again, this is another one for Danny because Little Man isn't quite old enough to really get the Captain Underpants thing, but
I'm not old enough to get the Captain Underpants thing.
But yeah, it was another kid-friendly one that I thought I'd chuck in for my friend's little one because he's probably around about the age of just about getting into Captain Underpants now.
I mean, they did say that most of these were free issues unless you spend over a tenner. So, I mean, I would spend more than a tenner, obviously.
And the amount we tend to spend in there is normally enough to...
Yeah, but most comic dealers, especially if you go in there now and they've got any books left over, they're going to want to get rid of them. So, feel free to go in and just say, have you got any left?
And actually, after that, our new releases from this week, the pile looks quite tiny, really. Compared to our freebies.
It might look tiny, but it's freebies. Yeah,
compared to the pile of freebies, it's actually quite a small pile.
This one I wasn't going to get this week, but after seeing it in the shop and the cover, I kind of fell in love with it. When you see the cover and you don't fall in love with it, maybe because I'm a massive symbiote fan and a horror fan, but that's Court of Carnage of Misery, and that's the first Liz Allen as Misery. So. Yes,
I actually, whilst I was trying to get Little Man to go to sleep, was reading an article all about this and her and who she is and how she comes to be Misery. It's a combination of Carnage and Anti-Venom blended together.
How does that work?
Yeah, so her company, Alchemix or something, she's the boss.
Alchemax, yeah.
Alchemax. So they've been trying to work on combining symbiotes, and something happens, and somehow, although they've never been able to
get Carnage, chunk of Carnage.
So they've never been able to get Carnage and Anti-Venom to work together, or a host that could
Anti-Venom
host both of them.
Burns symbiotes.
Yeah. So they've never been able to get it to work before, and then something happens, and there's this catastrophic thing by the sounds of it at the lab, and they both bond to her, I think, in a way of probably trying to save themselves.
Right.
So yeah, and then it creates Misery.
To me, it just looks like Carnage with Mary Jane Watson's hair.
Yes.
Sorry, I just want to get out.
Yeah. I am actually slightly intrigued, having read the article, because it did make it sound really cool.
Now, this is one of your collection.
Yes.
Because you started reading, was it issue 11 you started on?
Yes. This is I feel like comic books are very much a medium where you're entitled to judge a book by its cover. I think
Massively.
that is the way that they draw you in. That is the way they hook you on. Oh, maybe this is something that's going to be interesting because you're not. It's not like a traditional book where you can go and read the blurb and what have you. It's a comic book is a visual art form and it has to grab you from a visual perspective just by looking at the cover.
That's definitely what grabbed me the first time was the art.
And that is what happened with Poison Ivy. I really liked one of the variant covers, which again we do touch on it in one of the podcasts when it was the book for the week it was out. I really liked it, bought it, and I thought, you know what, I've got this book, I might as well read it, and now I'm having to get all of them.
Yeah, that can happen.
Yeah.
Pass it over.
And I really like the variant covers of these. So
she asked me why
really
I buy so many books.
Yeah, there are some really beautiful variant covers. So.
Right. Yeah. So if you're following the latest Moon Knight series, issue 23 has Venom and Moon Knight.
That is really cool.
That is cool.
Yes.
Why is Venom working with the Midnight Mission?
Yeah. What is he doing other than making it a cool little black and white?
I don't know, because the last issue, Moon Knight and Tiger kind of got together. So where Venom's come from is beyond me. Anyway, this is definitely another one of yours.
Yep, my Scarlet Witch number 5. I still need to catch up on reading these. But yes.
I'm 2 issues behind on that one, I think. I was waiting for the slap to come across the screen then.
No, you just have to get me the others available that I can read them.
Oh.
I know you've bagged and sealed my others, so part of me is like, do I just go and rip into the bags and so I can read them?
Well, don't rip into the bags.
No, but you know what I mean. Go and open the bags and then have to rebag them.
So, another new issue released this week is group number 1. It's all about a young group.
Baby group.
Not quite baby group, more like toddler group. Sorry.
It may be feral enough for a toddler group.
His adventures with a young Kree warrior called Marvel.
Yes. And again, it's something that has some really lovely variant covers.
Excuse us, we had a brief intermission there from some childish madness. But as we were at, we were talking about a group's variant cover. So obviously we're still waiting on one because we've had to.
Yes, I really like the Peach Momoko variant, which I just think is so cute, so adorable. But yeah, nobody had that. That is one of the books that we went to 2 different shops to look for, and neither of them had it. But you have managed to find it online for me.
So that's in the post. Yes. But a variant cover we always try and grab hold of when we see them out there are some Scotty Youngs. Yeah. So this one's beautiful. There is another Scotty Young for this cover, but it's a 1/25, and I think you can only get it from his website.
Yeah, I think it's a store exclusive.
Yeah, it's a store exclusive, yeah.
Yeah.
They're nice ones, not exclusive.
No. So this is one of them, and it's so adorable. We've got Big Groot and teeny tiny baby Rocket.
Yeah, I think that's before that where Evolutionary gets his hands on him.
Or it could just be a random actual raccoon.
So, this is another one I had no intention of getting until you started talking about it from the key collectors on the podcast.
Yes, it was one of the keys of the week for this week.
Hear how excited I get about Sons of X if you listen to that latest episode, and how annoyed I get of myself because I'm like, damn it, now I need to get it. But yeah, Sons of X.
Is this not a one-shot? So at least you're not investing in a massive...
This is a one-shot, but it does kind of prelude into more stories. So I'm pretty sure it's setting up the Hellfire Gala as well, which I know someone is very excited about getting the Hellfire Gala covers.
That was something I was chatting to Lizzie about earlier.
So the Hellfire
we both get... Yeah, so she seemed slightly intrigued by the Hellfire Gala and the really nice outfits for the variant covers for that.
Yeah, there are some really nice Hellfire Galas coming out. So.
And our final book, our final new release of the week is another one that we have been very excited about. We got excited when we saw it in the previews from February to May, whichever the last previews were.
Yeah, we got this for February, yeah.
We saw this coming up, and this is one that is definitely for little man's collection.
And that would be Edge of Spider-Verse #1. The Spider-X takes on Venomsaurus.
Yes. And this is purely because, as a nearly 5-year-old little boy, he not only loves Spidey, he also loves dinosaurs. So this was one that, as soon as I saw it existed, I was like, yeah, that is definitely going in his collection.
I'm pretty sure it's not just little kids that like dinosaurs.
No,
but secretly really like dinosaurs.
I think it's like a phase that all kids seem to go through, is a love of dinosaurs. Little Miss is, I think, probably getting into it earlier than she would otherwise, the little man did, because she has a big brother who is into it. But yeah, she is becoming a bit of a fan of a dinosaur.
Yeah, she does love a dinosaur.
To the point that when we were outside the comic book shop earlier and a random bloke walked past with a dinosaur balloon, she had a complete meltdown because she wasn't allowed to have the balloon. It was for his kid in the buggy. But she, kept shouting and screaming because she wanted the dinosaur balloon.
But moving away from the dinosaur fanatics out there, we have another Scotty Young from Edge of Spider-Verse. And who can say no to that cover? Look at that.
I know,
it's amazing. Even got Spider-Ham.
Yes. That is definitely a very cool cover. And again, as soon as we saw that it existed, we were like, yes, that is definitely one we need to have.
Yeah, I had to request that one specifically.
I do love my Scotty Young covers. But yeah, that is literally all of the new releases that we've got this week. Everything else has been a back issue, bin dipping session.
Yeah, I didn't find anything on the wall that I really picked. There was a Preacher #1, but I've never really been into Preacher, so sorry, Jamie. I wasn't going for that one. But there was lots in the 60p bins, and there was lots in just the back issues. So we'll start with the one that you were roped into buying.
Well, I don't think she necessarily roped me into buying. So we do keep going on about Lizzie and Jamie. It's because they are brilliant.
They're our local dealers.
And Lizzie is literally just young enough to be my child. She's only 18, and she is brilliant at selling stuff to me. And since I got interested in the Poison Ivies, I thought I'd have a flick through what they had for Harley Quinn, and I discovered these. So it is Harley Quinn, Harley Screws Up the DCU 1 and 2.
So yeah, it was 2 and 3.
No, it's 1 and 2. Yeah. So these really intrigued me. The idea of it really intrigued me, and I thought they're really cool covers. They look really fun. I'll pick these up and give them a read. So yeah, they do look really, really fun books. So, and anything that screws up the DCU is clearly a good thing.
Definitely.
So yeah, they are ones that have come home. And the next one is another one of my foray into the DC. It's filling in a gap in my Poison Ivy collection.
These are number beautiful covers.
4. Is this one
number
4? And yeah, they have some really, really gorgeous.
4.
Just in case people didn't believe you. Yeah, they have
most people don't believe me, sorry.
Absolutely gorgeous variant covers for the Poison Ivies. The A covers are really cool, but I just really love the art on the variant covers. Who can say no to that? That looks. You could frame that and put that on the wall.
I would frame that and put it on the wall.
Yeah. It kind of makes me miss my red hair.
Oh, we're getting an idea what she's going to be at Halloween. So, moving on to the 50p bins, we got a nice little stack. We've got 1, 2, 4, 6, 9 Daredevils. Because, who doesn't love a ginger blonde guy? That knows all about the law.
Yeah.
And has a friend called Foggy.
Yes, who doesn't love Charlie Cox in a tight costume?
I was talking about Matt Murdock.
I know you were, but
not Charlie Cox, and you're Charlie Cox.
You say Daredevil, and that is where my mind goes.
But I am a massive Daredevil fan, so
yes,
yeah.
there we go. That's who you can cosplay as for Halloween.
And I'm Ginger, and I'm pretty sure people would like to blind me, so yeah, I could do. I'm just not very good at the law.
Then another one that you spotted in the 50p bins you thought I might be interested in.
Yeah, because you've grabbed a few of these issues because you like the covers in there, and I thought, well, why not get the full run? Because there's only 50 issues.
Yeah, only 50.
Yeah.
I'm having enough filling in 12 Poison Ivies, let alone...
It's because you're going for the variants. That is Captain Marvel. I know many of you out there don't like Brie Larson and Carol Danvers. Personally, I think she's pretty damn good at it. She has to character down brilliantly. If you don't like the actress, that's fine, but she does play her part well. So.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the Captain Marvel film, and I'm quite looking forward to the Marvels coming out in November. I don't want to say it's November. Yeah, there's some really cool covers. I will have to decide whether I'm going to flip through them now because they are not in order, or whether I wait until I have an entire set and then read them, which may take a while with it being 50.
Yeah.
But I can't just read number 35 and then not know what's come before, what's coming after. So I might have to wait a while to be able to read these.
Or use Marvel Unlimited.
Well, that.
To dive into it. It'll make you more to buy them more, though.
Yeah. But at least I don't have to wait too long to have gaps.
Old school, and this is not the best condition. I know it's not the best condition, but for 60p, it ticks one off the list of classic Avengers, and I can always buy up later.
Low grade is better than no grade.
Yeah. So, Avengers, number 147. And that's the reason why.
And that's the reason why I'm so happy. Because, again, any of our regulars will know I am a massive, massive Scarlet Witch fan.
Yeah, you can say. Got a nice...
How old is this?
Well, I didn't get a nice picture as well. That's probably around the 70s, 80s.
Older than me.
And mate, I'm not that old. 21 gets the ideas. Got a nice little run of X Factor to fill in. I thought I got more of these, so if I find any more, I'll let you know.
Filled in another couple of gaps in your collection there.
Yeah, this is one that I personally think he'll be one of those characters that pops up in like Deadpool, or maybe a Disney Plus as a side character in that. But that is Full Killer number 1. This is his first solo series. I'm pretty sure it's his first
He's one of the Mercs for Money, yes?
He was one of the Mercs for Money. I'm impressed that you knew that.
I know some stuff.
You do, yeah. I'm pretty sure this is the first one. If it's not the first one, let me know in the comments and I'll just stop.
Well, you'll just take it back and be like, there you go. I don't want to.
Well, no, it's 50p, so I'm not going to mind 50p. I grabbed a Deathlock number 1 because look at that cover.
That is pretty cool. It's pretty scary, but it's pretty cool.
Print, but you know, it's still pretty nice for 50p. It's in good condition as well. So.
That is quite shiny as well.
Well,
so shiny. So shiny.
I don't know why we had to go into the Moana mode then. I grabbed a cable.
A couple of cables.
1 and 2. These are some wraparound covers. Backs.
They are some cool covers.
Yeah, I mean, cable solo series. Again, 50p bin. How can you say no to that? That's just a quick little read. They're in good condition. They're readers, you know. If you're not reading your comics, why are you collecting them? If you're in it to make money, you're a fool.
To be fair, you're saying, why are you getting them and not reading them? Yet we get them, carefully bag and board them wearing gloves, put them in a box, and then read them on Marvel Unlimited.
No, I read a lot of my books. But the older books, I will read on Marvel Unlimited because why would I want to damage it more than it already is? Okay. Method to my madness.
I'm sure there is.
Always is. Let's get into some Spider-Man. Spectacular Spider-Man. And then I was going to punch at a Rhino.
It looks like Rhino's giving him a quick big hug.
Well, it's just a man love. Men can hug too.
Yes, they can.
Maybe not Rhino and Spider-Man because that's some bone breaking. I'm trying to get the full run of the Spectacular Spider-Mans. So this might take a while. Probably a bit longer than your 12 issues of Poison Ivy.
Yes, all right. Seeing as this is 190, yes, it probably will take a bit longer.
Now, this is the Todd McFarlane Spider-Man run. I've already got issue 1, which I picked up for next to nothing, which I'm surprised at because it's such a rare. It's not rare, there's a lot of them out there, but it's such a nice cover. But this is issue number 2. And look at that lizard. That's amazing. I know it's a bit shiny, but amazing. Fucking amazing, honest. On my French.
Yeah, that is a pretty cool cover.
Who doesn't love seeing a father shoot his son? In this case, Venom with Carnage. That's the maximum Carnage. And then Electro. Again, a little bit nutty. Look at that. It's beautiful.
That is a lot of electricity.
Just to happen with a man that controls electricity.
Yeah, but I mean, like, he go boom.
Moving on.
So that is everything I think that we got from the bins at New Dawn.
No, some of them were from. No, they were all from.
They were all from New Dawn.
Oh, be quiet.
His back issues and bin dipping opportunities are pretty amazing. They are pretty impressive.
Yeah, and he's very good at just letting me know when there's stuff in.
Yeah.
If he's just got stuff, he got me a full run of Web of Spider-Man, and the price was amazing. The condition was pretty much everything was near mint. So yeah. So some back issues now. Yeah, again, Venom Leaf Protector. I know this has recently come out, but I got the Alex Ross cover. But after seeing that one today, I was like, no,
that is a pretty cool cover.
That is a nice.
If you're into your Venom, that I can see why that's a cool cover.
That is a cool Venom. I won't get the full run.
Here's another thing that, yes, we have judged a book on its cover.
To be fair, I judged it well on its cover because just the picture alone intrigued me. I think
it was number 3. This is The Last Barbarians. It's another one that we discovered from when we were doing our weekly new releases, looking at the key collectors. Number 3 came up and we both were kind of intrigued by the very sort of Boudica-esque woman on the cover. We were a little bit intrigued by
and we spoke to our local dealer and he said it's very much for any of you out there like Dungeons & Dragons fans, it's like a Dungeons & Dragons quest. So,
and we play D&D, so yeah, interest was somewhat piqued.
Yeah,
and again, we happened to spot that they had number 3. You asked very nicely, and yeah, he did also have.
He did also have issues. I don't know if these are variant covers or not, but they're still some very nice covers. But that's issue number 1.
I'm intrigued to know who these women are and what their story is.
Yeah, definitely, and that is issue number 2. And I've just realised that on the back
it tells you
what the next cover is. So I don't know if that's on the other ones. No, well, that one's blank.
Number 1 doesn't tell you, but number 2
does, yeah.
And number 3 does.
Ooh.
Oh, I like
cover C.
Yeah, I like cover C for this one.
Show it to it.
Cover A is pretty cool, but I also like cover C.
You do. So, back to your Poison Ivies. Whilst we were in base, we also found a couple of...
Filled in another couple of gaps. We got number 7. I had to get the A cover for this one because it's the only one he had. Again, there's some gorgeous variant covers, which I will keep looking out for. But I thought, you know what, I will fill in the gap in the storyline with the A cover. And then if I find variants, I will get them. And also number 6, which he had the A cover. And then I was like, do you happen to have any variants tucked away somewhere? And that's the variant he had.
That is a trippy cover.
It is. There's also the other 2 variant covers are also really gorgeous. And I really like them. So
if you're taking substances, this is going to blow your mind. Not that I'm saying take substances.
But that is also part of the storyline from what I can gather. So, yeah. But yes, I cannot guarantee that this is going to be the only variant I get of this because I do really like it.
This is another one we just found in the 50p bins, but it's from one of your favourite artists. which I'll admit I've only just noticed from looking at it now.
That's why I said to you, did you pick it up because of the artist or because of the book?
I didn't see his. I did like the cover art, but it's mostly because it's issue number 1.
Yeah,
so it is a David Nakayama.
Yeah, so it's an all new Ultimates number 1. It is a really cool cover, but yes, I am a big David Nakayama fan. It looks quite early, maybe. Yeah. It's not quite the same as
2013. So
yeah, so this is 10 years old. Blimey, that it's crazy when you think that 2013 was 10 years ago now. You can see his current work, how he's developed from this point. But yes.
Yeah, now he just has blank backgrounds. So the character pops out a lot more.
Yes. But you can see
that
it is his work, and yeah, I do really love his stuff. So we thought we'd add that one for a grand total of 50p.
Now, the next one, I found in a 50p bin. I don't know, some of you will know. I don't really want to tell people what this is because I want them to try and guess. Or at least be like, wow. This was in a 50p bin. And if you know why it's important, it's not massively important, but it's worth a lot more than 50p, especially in this condition.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Decently white pages.
Yeah.
And it looks... That's got to be a good 20 to 30 years old. Yeah. You can see from the cover it's a good 20 to 30 years old.
And I've told you what this is, haven't I?
No.
Oh. I'll tell her later. But it's kind of a key. You got me the first appearance as a wedding gift.
Ah.
That's the second appearance.
Okay, now it makes sense.
Right.
And if you've seen our listened to our Meet the Family podcast episode, which is our very first one, you will also understand what it is. That makes
more sense. Yeah. Some more Avengers. This is 272. That's just a really nice Neymar cover. I don't know why he's got a hammerhead hair, but you know, just the way they threw them back then.
Yeah, he does have a weird shaped head.
Really excited about this one, and I'm definitely in the same opinion as Mr. James Gunn that Marvel need to go and buy these characters, or Disney, because they own them now, need to go and buy these old Hasbro characters that they used to do the series for. Rom, number 64. I'll try to get the full run of Rom. I've got
a lot.
Most of the key issues.
So many Roms.
Only like 100 or something.
Yes, but I was the one that sat here one day cleaning and bagging and boarding so many Roms.
That one needs a clean because someone's taken a price stick off. Done a good job, but it's still a little bit sticky. Yeah, I've got a little bit of an Ultimate Fantastic Four thing because I wanted it. Issue 22, obviously, first appearance of Marvel Zombies. I started that was it. I can't have one issue and then I have the series. So here we go. I started collecting the series. I've got a few of these ones now.
Yeah, it's very shiny.
Yeah, Human Torch taken on.
That's like an early 2000s. I'd take a punt from the style of the book and like the style of the art inside it. That is a 2000s to like 2010, 15 kind of styly book.
Yeah. Now the next one, I'll put them all in the wrong order, but this one, I've never heard of this character.
But you were intrigued enough to pick up the little run of.
Well, I was intrigued because she's got her own series.
She's an X-Men character that you've never heard of that was clearly big enough to get her own mini-series.
Yeah, and if you know how much I'm into my Marvel, it's a little bit weird
impressive that you've never heard of.
especially for an X-Men. But yeah, if you've heard of this character, let me know in the comments because I'm going to read these and find out who she is. I'm kicking myself. But we've got Mechanics 1 to 6. I actually like the covers as well.
Yeah, she looks very Lara Croft facey. Yeah, her face is very much. Yeah, she puts me in mind of kind of the Lara Croft from the games.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from. I mean, I don't know who the artist is, but it is. Oh, Claremont. I did not think that was a critical hang on. That's number 6 because I've taken it in the wrong order. That one's for all you naughty teenagers out there. Same as this one.
Oh, yes, she's in her pants.
Yeah.
Now, is she somehow related to Kitty Pryde? Because it says Target on the cover of this one. It says Target acquired, and she's the one in the crosshairs. It says Target acquired Catherine Pryde, and she's the one that's in the crosshairs in this cover.
I swear to God, if this is Kitty Pryde and they've changed the name to Mechanic, and I didn't realise, I'm going to just stop reading comments.
But I will get really excited because I like Kitty Pryde. But I will want to know where the cute little dragon is.
Yeah, so that does it for our run-of-the-mill comics, if you like, your everyday ones. This one has been on my list to read for quite some time, and I was not paying Amazon's silly prices for it. Sorry, Amazon, but cost of living goes up, your deliveries go down. But this is Year Zero, which for zombie nuts out there, if you haven't read this yet, and obviously I haven't read it yet, don't worry. This is definitely one from the ratings, the reviews, everything I've seen. Get out there and read. I'm not going to go into it because I'll get carried away. But the basis is zombie apocalypse, different stories, different people. A bit like World War Z, the book, not the Brad Pitt film, if you've read the book.
Yeah. And then we have one final comic book related purchase from today. It is an actual book that you have been looking at for quite some time that piqued your interest when you
mostly because I want to go here on holiday.
Yeah, so we managed to pick up in a local bookshop for a very good deal an Atlas of Wakanda. So yeah, this definitely looks interesting to read. You've seen it in the shop before and they had it on sale today and you were like, yes please, and I was like, yeah, of course, because I'm equally intrigued to learn a little bit more about
I was never that bothered about Black Panther before, but Chadwick Boseman, he done such a good job of him. It piqued my interest a bit more. I mean, I've got the key Black Panther issues. Obviously, not the first issue because I've not made money. I've got like the first solo issues and that, so yeah. I just wanted to
and it does,
more into
like,
Wakanda.
Wakanda does just seem like a really, really cool place.
It's because it's not real.
Yeah, so they don't have to conform to boring real life stuff. But yes, I'm really excited to actually have a flip through that as well.
Yeah, same here, yeah.
What we need to do now is get a copy of the Marvel Anatomy book because I really want that.
Yeah, again, I'm not paying Amazon prices.
No. Yeah. No, but yes, I need to find a copy of that isn't silly money because that not only appeals to my comic book geekery, it appeals to my love of anatomy and poking and this connects and that connects and this is how it works.
It appeals mostly to me because I want to know how symbiotes connect to people and what happens to the host and all the rest of it.
There's a reason I'm a nurse and it's because I really, really like anatomy. So, yeah, I really, really want this book.
Yeah, you're not having it. Not yet, anyway. Hopefully, we'll find it a bit cheaper.
I have a birthday in like 4 months.
You have a wedding anniversary in the month.
True. I was giving you longer.
True. Yeah. Most girls like shiny things. She likes people being dissected.
And I have friends that are just the same, so it's very good.
Yeah. Anyway, that's that. That's it from us tonight. Anything else you want to touch on?
No, just feel free to come and join us next time and pop onto the podcast. If you haven't listened to it before, do feel free to subscribe to the podcast. We do a new releases every week on a Wednesday. And then...
Yeah, we talk about the key collectors, key issues of the week, what their descriptions are, what we think of them. I don't hold back. If I think it's crap, I'll tell you it's crap.
Well, to be fair, I thought World Tree looked like someone trying to make up their internet password because they've swapped letters for numbers.
Yeah, World Tree, honestly, get out there and just read it.
Give it a try.
Yes. Yeah. It's once you read it, you're hooked. I still want to know why there's a naked woman going around killing people.
What?
Now she's hooked. Anyway, that's it from us.
Yeah.
Hope to see you next time.
Bye.